Hello there. I'm just getting ready to make some cookies for the farmer that just moved in. Oh, they look just like their grandfather every day. George does not like it when I talk about the grandfather. He just doesn't understand young love and whatnot. But I make really good chocolate chip cookies, and everyone in Pelican Town loves them, the mayor included. They get highlighted every year, so we'll just get started on the recipe. We're going to start with the dough. It's a simple recipe. You just need 2 bowls for your wet and your dry ingredients. Of course, the large is for your dry ingredients. So we'll start with the flour. We need 2 1/4 cup of flour. And then you need a teaspoon of baking soda. And then 1 1/2 teaspoons of cornstarch. Then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You never want to forget your salt when you bake. Very important. And then you whisk this together. Make sure it's nice and mixed. Then you move on to your butter. You need 3/4 cup, and it needs to be melted and then cooled. Oh dear. You can melt your butter in a microwave. I don't know what that is. We don't have those in Pelican Town. And you will also need 2 eggs at room temperature. You'll need an entire egg and then just the yolk of an egg. Now that the butter is melted, we will get the sugar ready as we're going to mix it in with the butter. So you'll need 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And then 1/2 cup of white sugar. And once the butter is cooled a little, you're going to mix it in with your sugars and get them well mixed. Don't worry about the butter you spill on the floor. The dog will lick it up. The happy home recipe for a clean floor is to have a dog. I hear about vacuums in the city. George says we don't need a vacuum. The dogs are the vacuum of Pelican City, Pelican Town. I know where I live. You want to mix it until there are no lumps. It's smooth, no lumps. Speaking of lumps, you should have any new lumps checked out by a doctor. Harvey is very nice, always patient, and listens. Now we'll add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we're going to add our eggs. 1 whole egg. And an egg yolk. And you want to beat them in. If your butter is not cool, you will cook your egg early. And those scrambled egg cookies probably sound delicious to my grandson Alex. It's not really what anyone else is looking for when they have a cookie. Next, we will add our wet to the dry. And mix it in. It is going to look a little greasy as you pull it together, much like my dear George's bowel movements. That is normal. That is what you want. Now you're going to add 1 1/4 cup of chocolate chip. Or more, or less. I won't tell anyone. And fold them into your dough. Once you have folded in your chocolate chips, you will cool this for 3 to 5 hours before baking. Now that our cookies have cooled, we will want to preheat the oven to 325 Fahrenheit. Oh, George always says, I'll burn down the house. I think he says it like the young whippersnappers, like you're hip and with it, you'll burn down the house. 325. And while you wait for that, you will put the cookies on the tray. Ball your cookie dough up and set them on your prepared plates. Always be sure to grease or use parchment paper, or else the pan owns the cookies. And you want to own the cookies. And if you make them nice and uniform into a ball, they make those cute, perfect little cookies to share. Make sure there's enough space between your cookies, as they will spread. A cookie sheet is not so bad. Cut it into little shapes. Still delicious. Just not what is expected of Evelyn. There are certain expectations for Evelyn in this town, so I cannot provide subpar cookies. Not if they're not subpar. They're not. Cookies are cookies, and they're all very good, equally delicious. Unless, of course, you don't like chocolate, then, well, we don't even know how to get into that realm. And when your sheet pan is full of cookies, you will put them in the oven. When it is preheated, it is time to put the cookies in the oven. And we will bake them for 12 to 14 minutes. You just have to let them cool as the hardest parts wait. I hope you like those cookies.
So I made that video over a year ago, and I'm just now getting to editing it because I'm trash. But I hope you enjoyed it, even though a lot of things have changed. One, I actually have a camera mount now, so I can have some stable video. I've also got a better mic, so not all of my audio sounds like shit. And I've just been pushing off doing a lot of my older videos because I've been producing new content that's frankly a lot better. But I still hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. So now we're also doing live streaming Dungeons and Dragons. If you're into Dungeons and Dragons, you can come watch us on Twitch on Sunday mornings from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Pacific time. It's also uploaded to YouTube later with the edits to cut out any dead time, our setup, all of that fun stuff. So check that out if you're into Dungeons and Dragons. We're having a fun conspiracy-filled time. Thanks for watching again. Thank you for my Patreon supporters. We'll see you next time.
Oh, shit. Without the chips. Back. They don't want to mix. Force them.
Do you ever feel like you're just on Great British Bake Off?
Waiting. Just waiting. One day I will get